Okay. So today is Thursday, July 7th? July 9th. I was almost kind of close. So I'm doing a bit of a different angle to show off a lot of different merch. Something I've been trying to do a bit more lately is if I have something, like if I have any merch relevant to the topic of the video, I try to put, oh my goodness, there was something I could have put in the background as well. Hold up. Let me go grab something real quick. Grabbed. Okay, we'll get to this when we get to this. But if I have something relevant, I'm trying to put it in the background, make the video a little more fun. And I had a lot of topics today, and I realized I have a non-zero amount of stuff I can put in the background. There's one thing, I guess two things now, so just grab something. One thing that didn't quite fit that I have down here. There's another thing I could have grabbed. I was like, I've already got something, and blah, 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 blah. You get the idea. So let's start. So part of the reason I have it angled like this is to show a bit more of the posters, specifically this one here, because that is the poster I have of Tanya Degurachoff. I don't know how well you can see this figure. I'll probably just start moving them off as I talk about them, though, just to show other stuff, and I don't know, it kind of helps me. This is a pop-up parade figure I have of Tanya as well. I haven't taken her out of the box, but gosh, she also has like a second psycho face, which I think is pretty fun. But because season 2 started, I believe yesterday was the first episode. It might have, because of time zones, like technically been the day before. But gosh, when did season 1 come out? I think season 1 came out like 2015, 2016, something like that. And we finally got a season 2. Now, it's not that there has just been a dearth of content since. Like, there was a movie a few years ago, and while I've never watched Isekai Quartet, I believe Tanya is one of the 4, because I think it's Tanya, Overlord, I think ReZero, and Konosuba. So, like, she's still gotten some content, but I've been waiting for a second season, and when I found out that finally one was coming out, I was really excited. And I watched the first episode yesterday, and yeah, it was kind of everything I wanted. Like, I got to see some cool action, I got to see some good violence, I got to see some Tanya faces. What an experience. It's like, it's like we never left. So I'm gonna be enjoying this. Let's see, who do we want to go over next? Oh, you know what? Now that I've done the Tanya poster, now I could do this, go to an angle I kind of more prefer. So we get to do this next because School Days is now relevant again. Oh my goodness. What was that on the 4th of July? Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. But within the past few days, there was like an announcement that caught me completely by surprise that School Days Remastered is going to be... Oh, also, I forgot. I also have the DVD. I have the Blu-ray. I'm going to go grab that. Because the fact that I have it is something that just kind of makes me happy. Go. Where are you? It's behind this giant free run thing that I have. There it is. It is, like, right behind the giant free run. This is I have School Days on freaking Blu-ray because it just makes me happy. But so the VN got remastered, and I think it's supposed to be coming out later this year, if not in 2027. And they announced that it's going to have an English dub. I'm so excited. I've never read the VN, but I'm aware of its reputation. Like, I've seen the anime. I know how just aggressively mean-spirited this series is. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to being able to experience it. But oh my goodness, just... because I've seen the bad endings, and at least the original 3, because I think in the remaster they added more bad endings, and I keep saying, I'm on repeat, I'm like, I'm so excited, this is so fun, but I'm excited for so fun. I freaking scalded. And then like with Tanya, I actually haven't taken Kotonoha out of the box, but I think this is just fun and this is neat. And yet just this image right here, like, if you know, you know. But oh my gosh, that's just 10 out of 10. All right, let me use the thing that I just grabbed. It is Hatsune Miku. I think this is the only Miku-related thing that I own, which I think it's also the only Gundam-related merch that I own, because it's a Zaku Miku. This is to represent the World Cup. Because of all the memes. Of like, okay, so Brazil beat Japan, so that means Brazil now has custody of Hatsune Miku. And then when Norway beat Brazil, I was just seeing memes about how now Norway owns Miku. So now there's all this art of Norwegian Miku, and they're about to play England. So now I've started seeing art of English Miku. And like, okay, this whole like lineal custody of Miku is so funny. I love it, man. So I don't know. I'm almost rooting for England to win, so that way we just get another passage of Miku, and I just want to see it keep going. But I think I'm actually rooting for Norway, because speaking of memes, what's the guy's name? I think it's like Holland. I might have it wrong. And it's like Haaland. But the memes about him looking like Super Boo. And he said, he's like, yeah, I see people comparing me to Majin Buu. They ain't wrong. That's also amazing. Like, the World Cup is giving me so many good memes. There's this, or like, there's Miku, there's Boo. I think her name is Essie, the VTuber who every time she supports a team, they immediately lose. It's like, dang. Like, her sports curse is more powerful than Drake's. That is wild. I mean, I have to talk about the US. Yeah, that sucked. That was awful to watch. And it's the kind of thing where I genuinely wonder how much of this was because of the red card reversal. Like, we looked completely outmatched and just, oh gosh, like, it was bad. But I was wondering, Belgium is playing really aggressive. And if the whole red card reversal hadn't have happened, would they have played as aggressively? And if so, still outmatched, we still lose. Or is it just they brought a level of energy they otherwise wouldn't have, and we were just never able to match it? But regardless, an L is an L. You gotta take it. What was yesterday? I think yesterday was Colombia and Switzerland. Not the most exciting game. It was 0-0 after 120 minutes, but there were moments where it was getting pretty interesting. Egypt and Argentina was interesting. Egypt is up 2-0. It could have been 3-0, but, VAR reversed a goal due to a penalty that happened before the goal. And then Argentina scores 3 goals in like 15 minutes. There was some controversy, notably because Egypt had a goal taken away, and there was some controversy of, well, maybe Argentina should have gotten one of their goals taken away as well, because there was arguably a penalty that occurred in the box. It did, on the replay, look like the guy fell rather than he got tripped. I won't deny that, but I don't believe they went to VAR for Argentina's. They only did it for Egypt, because I haven't seen a whole lot of it because I haven't watched a lot of Argentina's games, but just, it sounds like they have that same reputation as the Kansas City Chiefs, where it's like, this is the ref's favorite, they love Mahomes, they love Messi, blah, blah, blah. And just the fact that whether they were both genuine or not, like Argentina's standing and Egypt's getting taken away, it's, you look at one and you took it away because of a penalty, and there's another one where there might have been a penalty and you didn't look at it. It's not a great look. Who are they playing the next round? I want to say... Okay, so I think Belgium is playing Spain. Because so we're in the quarter. So France is playing Morocco later today. I think... I know it's Norway is playing England for custody of Miku. Spain and Belgium. Sorry, it's France, Morocco, England... Fuck. Why is this so hard? Like, I have all these teams, and, like, I know who's playing who, and I keep saying the wrong thing. France and Morocco, Spain, Belgium, Norway, England, and then it's Argentina and Switzerland. Okay. I will be honest, like, I am so casual watching FIFA, even watching the World Cup. I have no idea who's gonna win. Like I said, I just kind of want to see... I want to just see Miku keep getting past her. Just the lineal Miku is so fun to me. So I guess in that case, I would have England in the semis, and they would lose to... I think Argentina is on that side of the bracket, but I could be wrong. So I would have England beating Norway, and then Argentinian Miku... And I guess I'm probably going to pick France over Morocco. I'll root for Morocco, but I think France is probably going to win. Spain over Belgium. Let's say Spain beats France. So then Spanish Miku reads... Okay, like Flamenco Dancer Miku actually sounds really cool. So I think I'm going to be rooting for Spain to take it. Although, like, my Miku, if she's French. Oh, I think that could be pretty fun. Anyways, let's go back to the wall of stuff. So, we're going to do you two together. So, Mothra's here because I have started the Heisei era of Godzilla films. These two have been in the background for those. So, as I think I've talked about before, the reason I have these two together is because I got them both in Tokyo, and when I took them out of the bag, they were connected like this little chain on Mothra was around Victini's hand, and they do come apart. But I'm like, I just thought it was so cool the way they came together, so I like to keep them like that. But I've started the Heisei era. I have watched The Return of Godzilla and Godzilla vs. Biollante. I think Return of Godzilla's fine. There's a lot that I liked about it, but I don't know if I quite loved it, but I definitely enjoyed it. Biollante, I pretty much just spent the whole review just gushing about how cool it was, how fun it was. And a lot of the other stuff that I just really loved. I think it's easily in my top 10. I think it is in my top 5. I think I have to say it boots out Three-Headed Monster and Astro Monster as much as I love those two. I don't know if I would put it above Hedorah and Shin Godzilla, but I think it is in that same category and tier, so it's at least number 5. So that's why Mothra's here. And then Victini, like I said, Victini's here because of Mothra, but also there have been a lot of Pokemon rumors going around about Wind and Waves. Apparently there's going to be like 300 new Pokemon. That's a lot. Like, that is... I think the most that has ever been introduced in one generation is 151, which is Kanto. And then Unova, speaking of Victini, added 150. I don't think it added 151. I think it was just 150, which is still a lot. 300's a non-zero amount. And I don't know how... Because it sounds like a good chunk of that is just new Mons. Part of that might also be... Mons, new Mons, new forms, and also just almost kind of more like generic forms that some Pokemon will get. I don't know how okay, let me think about how I mean that. I think there are going to be some regional variants and just new evolutions, but it also sounds like there's going to be a generational gimmick that gives some Pokemon new forms. And it sounds like that might be part of the 300. It might not be. It just sounds like there's going to be a lot of new dudes. And as someone who loves Pokemon, because I enjoy that adventure, and I like finding new dudes, Wind and Waves might be everything I've ever wanted in a Pokemon game. It also might run like Scarlet and Violet, where I'm like, this is really cool and really fun. I just wish it worked and functioned. Okay, so that's that. Let's go ahead and get Twilight Sparkle. So, Jose finished watching Friendship is Magic. That's really all there is to it. Like, I was gonna use Twilight to talk about Equestria Girls, but I realized, wait a second, I have, like, Equestria Girls Pinky as a figure, so that'll be a separate thing. But he did finish Friendship is Magic. And, you know, as someone who loves Friendship is Magic, that just kind of makes me happy. I didn't watch every episode with him, that I would every now and then just, like, watch an episode or, like, watch a batch of episodes. It's not going to show up on my end-of-year list this year, because it's not my first time watching it, and I wasn't reevaluating it, but you know, it always just makes me happy too. So that was fun. Let me go ahead and get Pinky. Tomo was just on top of here because this is my fate wall, or my fate shelf. Shelf is more accurate. I just like calling it a wall. So boom, boom. Are you in your right spot? More or less. Okay. So, Equestria Girls. Oh boy. So, there's a lot more of it than I realized. Because there's, I'm going to say 10. That might not be accurate. It might be around 9. But there's like 9 to 10 movies / specials. And a lot of batches of shorts. And the plan that Jose and I had is like, we're going to watch all of it. And we didn't, because we did not watch all the shorts, because we realized, A, there are some that we missed, because we were trying to watch them in order, not just their chronological order, but like as they came out in respect to Friendship is Magic. Like, okay, like we watched season 3, now we got to watch Equestria Girls. We watched season 4, now it's time for Rainbow Rocks, etc., etc. And we realized, oh, it seems like there were some shorts that came out like after season 7 or after season 8. We just completely missed them. And some of them were kind of hard to find. And then when we would find a playlist, they weren't in order. And then actually watching the shorts, we just didn't like them. I think on average they're about 2 minutes. And some of them, like there's one with Celestia, like trying to teach a class and she keeps getting interrupted. I was like, this one's actually like consistently funny and engaging. And then there's others where you're just like, this is taking, I don't want to say it's taking a while. It's only 2 minutes, but it's not really going anywhere. I'm not really getting a joke, or if I am, I don't think the jokes are that good. There was like 10 of just like these little subplots while they were on a beach. And then Jose was just getting more and more upset. Like, why have we been on this beach so long? Nothing interesting has happened. There's some that are these like choose your own adventure. It's like, here's a setup. And a character will have like 3 options to do something. And the first time we came across one, we didn't know that. So it just ends with this long like shot of Rarity sitting there like crying and her mascara is running in the middle of a storm. And she's just sitting there not saying anything and nothing was happening for like 10 seconds. I was like, am I having a stroke? What's going on here? I have a gif of that on my phone now, and it's so funny to me, and it's not like, haha, Rarity's crying. It was just the whole bizarreness of what was going on made it 10 times funnier. But after watching a slew of the shorts, Jose and I are like, okay, I think we've both hit that point where we don't really want to do this anymore, but we'll still watch the specials. So we've seen all of those. We've binged the last like 3 or 4, I think on Monday. So I don't remember if Forgotten Friendship was this week or if that was last, like if I talked about that in the last one. But I think that is the best Equestria Girls special, like special short movie. I think that is my favorite. What were the others? It was the cruise ship, but I want to say there was one we watched before the cruise ship. Oh no, that's right. It was the amusement park. So there's the amusement park, which I thought was all right with some funny bits, like Twilight and Sunset dealing with Flim and Flam was hilarious. But like overall, I thought it was okay. The cruise ship, I think I didn't care for like the first half, and then the second half was really good. Gosh, there's a scene near the end where like the ship is sinking and Rainbow and Twilight are having this like, oh well, today I learned this, I learned this, and you're just hearing people screaming in the background as the ship is going down. That was gold. After that, I think was Pinky and Sunset in their Groundhog Day loop. Or no, Sunset is the only one aware of the loop. I liked that one. And then it ended with the Christmas one, which was just a collection of shorts. But the shorts weren't 2 minutes. Like, they were actually allowed to have time to breathe and almost be like mini episodes. And they were consistently really good. Like, the one where the gang is trying to fake a snow day was really funny. And then the snowball fight, which is this, like, Saving Private Ryan parody. Oh my gosh, it was gold. Like, Jose and I were both just like the whole time, like, why weren't the shorts just like this? Because these are so fun, and like, these are genuinely really funny. Man, this just feels like a missed opportunity. But Equestria Girls is done. I think at some point I would like to do a video just kind of talking about... I probably want to do it as a tier list. Like, here's all the specials and movies. Let me give my thoughts on each one. But so that's that. And you get to go back there. Okay. Ooh Poo Pooh Bear. So I had mentioned that there was another piece of merch that I had that I didn't grab. I guess there's a couple, because I have the Danganronpa, like, Decadent collection. But I have a Monomi and Chiaki figure it's in my wardrobe. I have the good chunk of the wardrobe is actually just like more storage, but I've got a lot of other figures like on top of it and around. Is like, I don't really want to take this out, and I've just been getting a lot of mileage out of this Monokuma figure. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So I had said, I think I said this during the direct. I might have also said it when I made my video on my predictions for 2x2, that since a release date did not come out at all during all those announcements, so like the State of Play, Games Fest, Microsoft's, and the Direct, like, okay, I think one of two things is going to happen. Either A, this game is getting shadow dropped in July. It is getting dropped on the day that Danganronpa 2 originally came out. Is like, all right, it's the 10-year anniversary. I'm not sure if it's actually been 10 years, might be more, might be less. It's like, here's the anniversary of when Super Danganronpa 2 came out. Here's the remake. Or it's getting delayed to 2027. And it was finally confirmed, yeah, it's getting delayed to 2027. And I think I had said it previously as well that, do I want it to be delayed? Of course not. I would like to get the game as soon as I can. But the last thing I want to see happen is seeing it get rushed. Because number one, if it's rushed, it's probably not going to be as good as it could have been otherwise. And number two, I don't want people to have to go through the crunch. Like, that just sounds shitty and awful, and it sucks. I will get it when I get it, and hopefully it's worth the wait. They also announced the name of the new scenario. So I don't remember what the original scenario was called, but it's basically like, here's the original scenario, here's the new thing, and it's called Slay Him. And I hear that and I go, okay, that's like, just from the title, that sounds brutal. Now granted, it's Danganronpa, it's going to be brutal. Every game has had a different number of survivors, and the most we've ever gotten in one campaign is 6. The least we've ever gotten is 3. In my predictions, I said we were going to get 4. And part of that is because it's a different number, and because we get a different number every time. Part of it is 2x2, 2 times 2 is 4. Maybe. But now I'm also like, maybe there's going to be even less than that. Maybe it'll just be 1. Maybe it'll just be 2. And I had seen someone say, it's like, what if it's a weird scenario where you're basically playing, rather than playing Danganronpa the traditional way, you're kind of playing a game of Mafia, where you were playing as an active antagonist, trying to get the other students killed, and getting someone else blamed for the murder. So not like, I did a successful murder, now I get to escape. It's, no, someone else just got executed. You're essentially working for the bear to keep the game going as long as possible. Which would be interesting. I'm not gonna predict that, because I don't really know, like, even how to do that. It's like, I mean, I guess you could still say, okay, I think this person's gonna get killed, and this person's gonna get framed for it, I suppose. But I'm like, I'm gonna keep my predictions as they were, because I still like the rules that I went with, which are, you have to have a unique number of survivors. You have to, no one can die in the same chapter they died in previously, and no one has the same status. If you survived, you're gonna die. If you're a victim, you will no longer be a victim. If you were a killer, you won't be a killer. And I don't think that's gonna hold true. I think there will be some people with the same status in the final game in Slayhem. And I think there are gonna be some people who die in the same chapter. But, it did kind of make me go, man, I had 4 people surviving with a title like Slayhem. That might be too much. We'll see what happens. But, like, I'm excited for it. I guess in a sense, I'm like, at least this is something that's also not coming out on September 25th. Because, gosh, there's the part of me that's like, dude, it's an SC remake. There's no way I am playing anything before the SC remake. I was probably going to play Danganronpa so I could try to get through the new campaign without getting spoiled. I'm like, yeah, that also kind of applies to Fire Emblem. Because I know I'm going to see people playing Fire Emblem and talking about it and seeing clips. I'm going to be like, man, I really wish I was playing Fire Emblem. And then I'm going to boot up SC and go, yeah, there's kind of nothing else I'd rather do right now. But, boom. So that was Danganronpa. Let me go ahead and pick up my last item, and then I'll consult my notes to see what else actually, no, because I know there's at least one thing I haven't talked about yet. A new Class of 09 game is coming out, or just did come out, and it's like Class of 09 Puzzle League. And from what I understand, it's gonna be like a full game with full cutscenes and different scenarios, and I think all the cutscenes are gonna be animated. So it might have like the best budget, and it's gonna have actual gameplay. And there's a part of me that's kind of excited because of how much I love the first 2 games, and like I don't play a lot of Puzzle League, but anytime I have, I think it's really fun. Now I'm like, okay, is there gonna still be like the Bulbasaur cheat? I don't know. But I'm also like, I really didn't enjoy the flip side. There's some roots that I like, and there's some aspects of it that I really respect, but I just didn't enjoy it. And then when that animated episode finally came out, I was like, wow, I just didn't really like this episode. Maybe this just isn't my thing anymore. I don't know. So we'll see. I know Jose is really excited because he likes Class of 09. He liked the flip side, and he also likes Puzzle League. So maybe this is a thing he and I could do together. Maybe we'll just do it separately, and we'll see. I don't know. Maybe I'll play it and go like, okay, this is a return to form. Like, this is so good. But we'll see. Taylor Swift. I'm still not done, but I did listen to another 3 albums. I listened to Reputation, Lovers, and Folklore. We're working through it. I think I have 4 albums left. What is it? I think it's Evermore, Dead Poet Society. Maybe that's a movie. Is that the Robin Williams movie? I think that's the Robin Williams movie, so this might be something different, but it sounds kind of similar. Midnight. I think there was another one that just came out. So I think I have 4. Yeah, because Reputation was the halfway point. I listened to 2 more albums. So it's 8 down, 4 to go. Short version. Reputation was interesting. because as I was listening to it, I was like, I don't know how much I like this album. This is probably my least favorite so far. And by the time the album was done, I just kind of sat with it for a few minutes, went, huh, I think this is my favorite. And it really comes down to, my initial impression was, this is the, like, I'm now gonna reinvent myself as the bad girl. Like, this is bad Taylor, because there's the Look What You Made Me Do, which was the one song I knew from the album of the, I can't, this moment always makes me laugh, but it's the old Taylor can't come to the phone right now. Why? Because she's dead. Like, I'm sorry, it doesn't do it for me. I was like, okay, so this is the bad girl Taylor Swift. I'm sorry, I just can't take that seriously. This isn't working. But there was a point, I don't remember what the song was. I guess I wrote it down. I can check my notes sometime later, and I will when I do the full video on Swift. But there was one song that made me realize what Reputation is. It is an album about how I am not doing my best right now, and I know a lot of people are against me. My reputation has never been worse. But what I really want is for someone to see me, to know me, and to love me. Regardless of what other people say, regardless of what all this other bullshit is. It's like, yeah, maybe I'm embracing this because it's not worth the effort to deny it or to fight it. But I just want someone to see through the bullshit and just see me. And with that interpretation, I think the album is a lot more interesting, and it's really, really good. Lovers, I think, was just kind of okay. I didn't really get into it. That might actually be my least favorite album, or I think for me it's pretty low on the list. It's not like there's bad... Let me say it like this. There are some songs on there I really liked. The one that sticks out is Paper Rings. Like, this is so freaking cute. I just love this. I think this is precious. But as I was listening to the album, I think that's when I started working on my Taylor Swift bingo card, where I'm like, okay, I've heard this song before. This is just the really cute love song. Okay, well, this is the really nostalgic love song. Oh, okay, well, this is the last song on the album, which tends to be a lot more reflective, but very, very hopeful, kind of like a last episode of BoJack Horseman, or like a season finale of BoJack Horseman. And I realized there's like 10 songs or so, like 10 types of songs that I have on my Taylor Swift bingo card. And to be fair, the fact that there's like 10 does mean there's a good amount of variety. But when there's 12 albums and each has like double-digit songs, like, yeah, I've kind of heard a lot of these already. I think musically, the songs tend to be very different from each other. But lyrically, not a whole lot. And that's not always a bad thing. But at least for me, like with that album in particular, I'm like, oh, this is that kind of song. This is that kind of song. I didn't feel as impressed. And yesterday, I listened to Folklore, and that's my favorite, no question. I just loved it. I did not stop to take notes. I was just kind of entranced the whole way through. And I think I've found a new favorite genre of music. How do I describe this? I've talked about it when I listened to Life and Death, the album by Migment. I talked about it when I listened to All Is Love and Pain and the Mouse Parade by Monsters and Men. And Folklore's in that category too, of just kind of like low-key, softer songs that are still like really emotional, that put me into this half awake, half asleep days where they're almost kind of lullabies in a way, where like I'm able to just listen to the music and vibe while also kind of being asleep. And it's great. and it's wonderful, and I think I need more of this. Like, maybe I'm just old. I'm like, I just need a lullaby so I can get some rest. But, yeah, Folklore was great. I've only got 4 left, because like I've said, I have no real intention of listening to the Taylor's versions, because, dude, I've already listened to these albums already, and I liked them, but I don't really want to listen to the same hour worth of song again 4 different times. I think I'm good. Okay, I did say that I was going to show this off, and then I'll talk about the last stuff. Here's Rena, because I did get some Higurashi reading done. Not a crazy amount, but I'm almost done with the 3rd arc in the manga. We are almost at Watanagashi. And oh boy, only good things can happen when you get to Watanagashi. There was this page where Keiichi makes his plan. Let's put it like that. And there is a lot of text on the screen, but the text is all vertical, and it was a real pain to read. But it was so cool, just the way it was done. Oh, that's probably been like my favorite part of the manga so far. And this, I don't know if you can hear my mom singing. We've got one of like the grandbabies over, and mom's just singing to the kid. I think that's really sweet. But this might be my favorite arc so far. Now, granted, I'm kind of doing this. How do I want to say this? I've watched the anime, so I know what happens in the main 8 arcs. And at least in the anime, I think Minagoroshi was my favorite. But at least going with the manga, which is also with the benefit of hindsight, because, like, okay, like, knowing what's really going on in Watanagashi and in Onikakushi. I think it's Tatari Goroshi? I think that's what the name of the 3rd arc is. I might have it completely wrong. I think it's been my favorite so far. And it really comes down to, like, as much as I love Onikakushi and Watanagashi, this is a very different kind of horror. Because it's not about the paranoia. It's not about, oh, is there a demon trying to kill people? It is a very realistic horror. And it's making it a lot more impactful. I think this arc is fantastic. I absolutely love it. And I'm like, yeah, this is definitely the guy that wrote Umineko. Which, when I was reading Umineko, I'm like, yeah, this was definitely the guy who wrote Higurashi. Oh boy, these poor kids. Though there was this one bit where Keiichi's talking to Takano about Oyashido's curse, and they have this conversation where she, like, asks him about Santa, like, do you know who Santa's identity is? And, like, it's your dad. And he's like, oh yeah, I mean, that makes sense. That's something I knew. And he says something along the lines of, like, pretty much any supernatural thing is always just going to be human. And I'm like, that is the most Umineko conversation I've ever seen. That is straight up something Battler would say in, like, the first few arcs, and definitely something Erika would say. Although Erika would make it sound far more unhinged. So, like, my reading has been very slow. Like, I've been pretty busy the past few days, but I'm happy I was able to get a good chunk done yesterday. And, like, on that note, I have not read Karamazov in a few days, but I think since the last time I read it, I finished book 5. I'm somewhere in book 6, so I finally got to the Grand Inquisitor scene. Yeah, it's probably been my favorite part of the book so far. It is really cool, and I think it's really interesting. I think what I found so interesting about it is the way it, at least for me so far, I'm like, I feel like this is just kind of just how Ivan views the world. Or excuse me, I'm sorry. I'm getting a lot of different, like, I'm trying to go back to where I was when I read it, which wasn't a whole long ago, but it's like what I was thinking of it. And part of it was, I think this is just kind of how Ivan sees the world and everything. I think that's pretty interesting. I think it's pretty interesting how Alyosha's response to all of that is to show him love the same way Jesus did to the Inquisitor. He's like, you plagiarist, like, you're not allowed to do that. And, like, I thought that was really fun. But the thing that really stuck out to me is the whole thing, like, during the Grand Inquisitor's speech, and it's like, you know, these are the sacrifices I have to make, and the people like me have to make for the good of the world, for the good of your flock. Like, do you have any idea what we have to go through for them and for you and for your ideals and the sacrifices and all, like, etc., etc., etc. And as he's going and as he's talking about all this, I'm just kind of thinking to myself, I think unintentionally and unbeknownst to yourself, are kind of sounding like Jesus. You're talking about making these sacrifices for the greater good, but like, you are making these sacrifices for other people. And you're talking to the person who made the sacrifice for other people like he wouldn't understand you. And it's something that Ivan and Alexei, like, don't discuss in the scene. And it's something I just found really interesting. Like, I feel like it's the kind of thing that wasn't lost on Dostoevsky, and we'll kind of see if it's something that comes up later in the book. But I feel like the irony of that was lost on Ivan, which I thought was just really interesting. But other stuff, let's see. Hey Sahara. Okay, 30 Rock. I'm about 10 episodes into season 4. Season 4 is so funny. I mean, first 3 seasons have been great. I think what I had said, it was like, season 1's like a 10 out of 10. Season 2's a 10 out of 10. I think season 3 is like a 9.5, 9.8 out of 10. Like, I don't think I liked it quite as much, but it's not like there was a big drop off. And then season 4 is like, yeah, I think I'm back to 10 out of 10. Like, I have been laughing so hard. Oh gosh, what was it yet last night? I got to the scene where Alec Baldwin, where Jack is talking to the new guy. And he's like, well, I want him to break up with Liz because he's spending more time with Liz than he is with me. And he's the only cool guy around here, and I want to hang out with him more. So how do I end his relationship with Liz and hang out with him? So he tells him, he's like, okay, I'm going to tell you a secret, and no one will be able to verify this, and it's because it's super secret, not because it's a lie. I'm in love with Liz Lemon. And they're just looking at Liz, and he's talking about her, and there's a scene where he says, I ache for her sexually, as Liz is just like drinking straight out of a milk jug. And it made me laugh so hard. Like, I was wheezing at that, and you could just feel in Jack's voice boy, I don't mean a word of what I'm saying, and I hate that I have to even pretend to be attracted to this. And I think afterwards, it's like he sees the mustache, he sees Tom, and just goes, good God, Lemon, and then goes back to talking. Oh my gosh, it was so funny. What did Tracy do? There was, I don't know, Tracy's always good for just like a laugh out loud riot moment, like every episode or like every few episodes. There was something he had said. I am completely losing it, but like, I love this show. I'm so glad I'm finally watching 30 Rock. I finally played Blaze Blue, so it's something because Jose has Central Fiction, and it's a bit more relevant because it's getting content now, or it's getting a new update and a new character. So we finally got around to playing it a couple nights ago. We're just like, all right, let me pick a character. All right, let me pick another character. It's fun. Like, there were I made it sound like not. It's like, it's fun. But there were some characters I played are like, I don't really know what I'm doing, and I don't know. And then I played one set as 9. I'm like, okay, this character's really fun. This is cool. I like playing the witch. who was it? I think Celica I played, and I thought she was pretty fun. I played, was like Relius or something. I thought he was pretty cool. I didn't win that round, but I was like, this guy's pretty fun. I like him. I played one of the robot girls. I think there's like 3 of them. And she was really cool. That was fun. What was her name? Mai? She was like a girl with a big stick. She was cool. I had a lot of fun playing that round. I played the chipmunk girl. I wasn't crazy about that. I played Taukaka. I was like, I'm not really figuring her out. Like, there were some there I'm like, I'm not really vibing with this character. And others where I'm like, okay, just like kind of hitting some buttons. I like this one. This one's pretty neat. So I don't know, the next time we'll boot up some BlazBlue. I don't know if this is going to become a regular thing, but I'd like to play more of it because I thought it was cool. And I've been trying to watch more clips just to see, how is this game played? Like, is this the kind of game where, like, you hit someone once and then you just have a 12-year combo and you kill them? Or is it kind of, you know, you hit someone once, you have a nice long combo, but then things reset? Like, for example, like, when I watched Strive being played at EVO, what I noticed is, like, combos in Strive usually don't last super long. It's just kind of like, you get in, you do your thing, maybe you end with a super if you can. The combos tend to do a lot of damage, but they weren't as long as I was expecting. And I think in BlazBlue, they're kind of about that. Maybe they go a little bit longer. But it was fun just watching some like high-level BlazBlue. I don't know if I will ever be able to replicate that. I don't know how much of it I'm going to play. But it was cool, and I thought it was fun. Talk about the World Cup. Talk about Swift. Puzzle League. School Days. Danganronpa. Okay, and then just when it comes to writing, I finished my draft of Athena's first chapter in book 2. I've been working off and on Harley's first chapter. There's some bits in there that I think are pretty fun that I've been enjoying. I still haven't messed with Severance and its prologue, but I was able to commission the Severance artist to work on the title screen, and I've gotten a couple sketches, and I think they look really cool, and I'm like, ooh, I can feel that excitement coming back. Maybe I'll do it soon, but maybe I'll still do this first Harley chapter first, I don't know. But, that's been kind of working on, like, bits and pieces of the chapter, and just kind of trying to connect it, but it was like on the 4th of July, I was trying to do some writing, and I ended up flipping some major locations on the map, which ended up changing some of the trajectory of the stories in book 2, and I'm like, really glad I didn't release a map in the first book. Like, that was very serendipitous, because I think for, like, lore reasons and pacing reasons, I think these changes are going to work way better. But, I think that's about it. Yeah, I think that's about it. So, deuces. I'll see you.